Hey friends, thanks for joining me. My name is Andy. This channel has a lot of audio stuff on it. This is an LP60, AT-LP60. This is one of the more popular turntables. Lots of turntables in prior videos. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe. Like to talk about turntables a lot. And all right, this LP60, this is just going to be kind of an anatomy setup, kind of debunk some of the myths and talk about some other things that you can do with these. So first, right out of the bag, we are going to look at the weight that it's putting down on the record. Now we want this to be somewhere around 3.5 is about right. I run mine at 2.5, but you want around 3.5 so that you can get that needle down into the groove. So what does this come in at? Holy crap, 3.5. All right, this is not going to hurt your records, so don't buy any of that hype that you read or see online. Don't buy that. These will be just fine. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about the different pieces and parts of this. Of course, you have the different speeds that you can run this at. It does 33 and 45 RPM. Which is, most of the time you're going to be running 33 because you're going to be running an LP. 45 are the smaller records. Up and down tone arm. Don't grab the tone arm and just like up and set it down like so, okay? Use this and then move it over and then set it down. Great, good, that's the proper method. By the way, I have the Stylus cover on. That's good. You do want that on whenever it's setting. This is the size, of course. You can adjust it from 7 to 12, okay? 7-inch, 12-inch. And then you have the stop and the start. The stop and the start are operated by a cog gear in here. And that is actually pretty much the typical way you're going to see that operated. Very seldom I'll find a player that actually uses a worm gear or a belt and has a separate motor over here to drive everything that's going on. A lot of modern players, it's become quite a fad to not have any kind of motor whatsoever. I find that to be quite not a good thing for me, because I will forget that the thing is running and it will just sit here with the needle in the center running. And I will end up losing a meter, or not a meter, a needle, stylus, if you want to get technical. All right, so this is your tone arm. This is the head shell. The cartridge is connected to the head shell underneath it, and then your stylus is connected to the cartridge. And changing that cartridge out, let me find a good example here. Here's one. All right, so this is a typical Audio-Technica cartridge. They're just labeled generically made in Japan. The only way you know it's Audio-Technica is the label in the front, and actually I'm going to use the same cartridge. These are very popular cartridges. If you get into turntables and you have a couple of them, you're going to find that there's a variation in the cartridges, the way they mount, and the stylus, the way they go into them. So this is very, very simple. It's just a hook at the end of the stylus, and then it just pops into place. Okay, so to dismount it, you're going to just pull down, okay, and to put it in, you're just going to pop it up like so. Okay, so I'm not going to take this one off of here. One thing I would suggest is making sure the power is off to the speakers, because when this actually pops, this is sensitive, right? You just go and tap on this, it's going to make sound. You can imagine that popping sound is going to go through your speakers. You don't want to lose speakers. You can lose speakers that way. All right, got that out of the way. We got the measurement out of the way. We talked about the anatomy of the tone arm. Now, oh no, I don't want to lose that. The platter, plate, the cover, the mat. It's called a mat, okay? Just called a mat. This mat that comes with the Audio-Technicas is going to distort your sound just a little bit. Now, there's going to be some argument that'll say, no, it won't, but it will. All right, so This is an acrylic mat, and what it has is a solid piece of plastic, okay? And what it does is it doesn't have any give to it, and these little notches on here serve a couple of purposes. First of all, it's a stroboscope, so it's going to tell you whether you're on time or not. As in addition, it's going to be grippy for your record. Okay, let's put a record on here and see. All right, is it grippy? Yep, it's grippy. Okay, now let's put this on here. And let's do the same thing. Is it grippy? Nope, it's slipping a little bit. And I'll put money on if I turn this upside down, it just slips freely. Yep, it just slips freely. Okay, so I would highly encourage you to get one of these acrylic mats. This particular one is by Hudson Hi-Fi. It's available out on Amazon. I'm not an affiliate. I don't do the Amazon stuff. I don't even have enough subscribers to actually get compensated for the videos I make. I just like to make the videos. So perfect. I love these. The alternative to this that I would suggest if you are like, you know, just trying to get by with like 10 bucks is to buy one of these cork mats. These things are absolutely awesome sauce. I love them because they just look good, right? And this side up and there. Now I can tell you that that's going to slip a little bit too. So let's test it out here. Right, nope, it's not slipping now. Okay, all right, so this is going to cause like the least amount of loss in sound. Now we're dealing with grams here, so at a very, very micro scale, you can lose sound. It's just very, very easy to lose sound because it's just so light, right? If this starts to vibrate, you're going to hear it. Anyway, so I digress. Let's talk about changing the belt on these. Now, a lot of these, now this is how I've ended up with 4 of these players so far, is that I'll get on eBay and it'll say non-functional. Well, I get it shipped to me and I'll take this off, or I'll just spin this over here and I'll look in here and there's no belt. There's like no belt. But then I'll go and I'll like move this and it'll move. Oh, well, I'll lift it up and 9 times out of 10, there's a belt down here. Not 9 times out of 10, 4 out of 4, there's a belt down here that is just not hooked up. Okay, look at the last video, actually just a couple videos back, and I have got a video out there of that exact scenario. There was one other thing wrong with it. Once I hooked the belt up, fixed the other thing, which is simple fix, I was up and running with this unit here for, I think I got it for like 25, I think 42 after shipping. All right, anyways, so to reseat the belt, first of all, you've got to get it on this lip, okay, which can be kind of challenging. So what I do is I like hold it down with my thumb like so, and then I just chase it around like so, like slowly. If you move fast, it's gonna just piss it off. All right, don't stretch your belt. Your belt is very your turntable is going to be very sensitive to how old the belt is, how stretched out it is, how much it slips because it's old. This is kind of like tires on your car, essentially, right? So your belts are not meant to last forever, and they won't. What they're going to do is wear out over time. You're going to need to replace them. And the same goes for your Stylus. Your Stylus is probably going to last. So when somebody pings me and says, hey, I'm getting really horrible sound out of this turntable and it's just been recent and la la la, what do you think's wrong with it? And you know, I'm thinking about getting a new one. And no, I'm like, no. How often do you listen to records and so on and so forth? And they'll usually, oh, I listen every day, and it's been a couple of years since I bought the player, and I'm like, dude, your Stylus is shot. Okay, now let's talk about the timing of the platter here. So now you've got your motor all hooked up, you've got your belt hooked up, and everything's looking good. On here, first off, I'm going to digress for just a second. One of the things that just really annoys me about these players is they do not have a lock for your tone arm, and so I just use a little rubber band. I just keep a little rubber band hooked to it right here, and then I'll wrap it over and lock it onto there. Anyways, digress again, of course. All right, so let's check out the timing. On this thing here, you're gonna see this wheel, this band right here needs to be staying still. If it's advancing, it's going too fast. If it's falling behind, it's going too slow. All right, this works with all turntables, right? Your lighting may need to change. If you have like a flashlight and you're using it on here, will not show the strobe. You actually need a AC driven light bulb. So AC meaning power out of the wall. This does have an opposite side to help line up a head shell on a another type of player, essentially. Okay, so let's say that it is running a little bit fast, a little bit slow. What I like to do is put a piece of, first off, lock this tone arm down so it won't move. Okay, put a piece of foam in here, hold it down, turn it over, and then right here is your 33 and your 45 adjustment. You need an itty bitty tiny little screwdriver, and you just like slowly put it down in through there. Okay, don't jam it in there, and you're gonna slowly twist it until it falls into a place where it's locking. Okay, and you can feel it, and you're gonna twist it 1/8 of a turn clockwise to speed it up, counterclockwise to slow it down, I think. Or it could be the opposite of that. Put it in the comments if I got the opposite of that. I might have that wrong. All right, this one I've got dialed in, so I'm not gonna play with it at all. Now the reason I put this foam in here is because that will fall, this will fall off when we turn it upside down and scratch up the inside here. Okay, done with that. So let's put this thing back together and talk about getting the hookup done. To hook this up, you have a line out back here, and it's right here in the center. I already have it hooked up, so I'm not going to disconnect it. And right now, I just have this into a normal everyday amplifier receiver, actually. And this receiver, I have it running into the CD component of this. And the reason I can run it into the CD component is because this unit has an amplifier inside of it. Now, that's another area you can accessorize on these, is your preamplifiers. So this is a Fosse Audio tube amplifier, and this sounds so much better than the amplifier in this. Now, to actually use this, I have to have, instead of an amplifier in here, I have to turn that amplifier off. So I run it, I switch it over to phono, and then I run it into here, and then I run this into here, into a CD. And the sound is so much better, so much better. I can't, it's like night and day different. All right, so the amp in here is gonna be just fine, so I have it as line out. And then I have it hooked into here, good to go. On your other models, of course, you're going to have other features like your USB and so on. Now, I will warn you about the USB and the Bluetooth. That music has gone through a digital filter, so it defeats the whole purpose of analog. Now, convenience factor, that's awesome sauce, because you know, I have other stereos in my listening areas where it's basically getting digitized, because I do want to use Bluetooth headsets. So I can't be a critic too much, because I do it myself. Okay, so we've gone through this, the strobe, the scope, this and that. Okay, let's talk about dust. So the principle is in the air is, and when these discs, the records, move through the air, they collect static electricity. Now, interesting fact, when the power lines are actually off, like they're doing construction on a span of power line, they actually have to ground that line to the ground, because the wind going over that line will actually cause it to collect voltage. Okay, and the same thing is happening here. you are creating static. Now, the reason that you have this dust cover is to keep dust from the approximate area of the record, because when the record gets static electricity going on it, it's going to collect dust. So always use your dust cover. Keep it down when you're not playing records, and keep it down when you're playing records. So that will help your record stay really, really good and clean by doing that. As well, you do want an anti-static brush. Okay, this brush is just something that I use to do some like just normal maintenance. Is this going to clean the record? Absolutely not. That's what this stuff is for. So this is some spray-on cleaner, and I usually have a microfiber cloth, and I'll just spray a little of this on the record, okay? And, oops, this will clean a lot of the residue off. I'm not pushing very hard, not pushing hard at all. And this will do an excellent, wonderful job. What you just saw me doing was actually sin. Never run this anti-clockwise, counterclockwise. Always run it clockwise. And the reason is your gear mechanisms in there can be damaged on certain players. So it's just best to get in the habit of going clockwise. Okay, so over the look of this record when I first started this video, this is like way, way, way improved. All right, if you have a record that is really, really damaged, you'll want to, yeah, you can possibly get it to work better by actually sprinkling a little bit of water on it, which is interesting altogether. Just get the disc wet and play it. It'll help the pops, but I don't do that. All right, so to make sure that the stylus is clean, you have, first of all, before you clean the stylus, make sure your power's off on your speaker. You saw me reach over there. I've blown speakers by doing this before. All right, so in some of these kits, you're gonna have like a little brush, or you may end up with some like tacky stuff. And all you're doing is you're just ever so slightly going to tease, very, very slowly tease the dust off of it. Do not jam it in there like you're brushing teeth or something. It's not, it's a delicate, delicate instrument, and even the slightest damage to it will cause significant degradation in the sound. Technical terms, right? Okay, let's go ahead and play the record. Okay, again, to move into another song, you're gonna lift, move it, and set it down. These things sound so good, I love this. All right, so one of the symptoms real quick is I'm not getting a lot of sound. Not a symptom, but a problem that I get pinged with a lot. And if you, I can turn this up. I've got the volume maxed out on this thing, and I can barely hear it. All right, so this problem is the preamp. So you've got to turn that preamp on. All right, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Love to talk about turntables. I'll also show you how to get a really, really good turntable and for cheap and be able to repair it. I show what I repair on all of these, and hopefully hoping to help people out. Thanks for watching. Again, like and subscribe. Have a great day.